Good day. Today we're going to tackle two of the scariest things you may ever be asked to do: writing and delivering a speech. Tip 1. Keep it quick and dirty. Keep it short. Don't cut yourself short, but do fill your time with relevant material that will keep your audience interested. Tip 2. Orient your listener. Take control of your listener's expectations. A strong introduction is important whether you're writing or speaking, but it takes a lot longer to listen to a speech than to read an article. And it will help your audience commit to your presentation if you start by telling them why it's important. Also remember that your presentations begins as soon as you take the stage. Don't spend 10 minutes thanking everyone in the room before you get to the meat of your piece. A brief thank you is fine. Tip 3. Keep important information at the beginning of your sentences. Keep your listeners hooked throughout your speech by crafting your sentences in a way that grabs them at the beginning. When telling the audience something new and interesting, start your sentence with the most important information. Tip 4. Finish strong to help your audience walk away satisfied. Finish by reminding them of what they've learned, and if appropriate, what you want them to do next. Tip 5. Write an outline, then write your speech. Write an outline. But don't stop there. An outline can be a great tool to help you organize your thoughts, but it's no substitute for a polished presentation. Unless you're an incredibly gifted speaker with lots of experience, it's usually better to write out exactly what you're going to say. The professionals, politicians, and actors who routinely give speeches usually script everything, even their jokes and asides. Also, if you're writing for someone else, an outline certainly won't cut it, especially if the person isn't familiar with the material. Even though it's more work, writing a full script will make sure your speaker gets the information, writes, and gives an engaging talk. Tip 6. Be conversational. Write with a conversational tone. Most of us don't write and speak the same way, and that's okay. But when preparing a speech or presentation, you should try to write the way you speak. You probably use contractions when you're talking. Don't be afraid to use them in your writing too. The last sentence could have sounded stiff if I had said, "Do not be afraid," instead of "Don't be afraid." A few well-placed jokes or slang terms can help you sound conversational, but don't use words or devices you wouldn't normally use. You might sound like you're trying too hard. Most of us don't listen to ourselves speak, so it can be hard to identify our normal tendencies without help. Record yourself talking about your topic. You can use your outline if you need a guide. But right now, don't worry too much about hitting all your bullet points. When you listen to a recording, you'll probably find that you're more wordy when you speak than when you write. That's okay. Most people are also. You may find yourself addressing your friend directly, a technique that will help you connect with your audience. Tip 7. Know your speaker. You probably already heard the advice. Know your audience. But when you're writing a script, it's just important to consider who will say your words as who will hear them. If you're writing for yourself, it's easy, but if you're writing for someone else, you may need to adjust your voice and tone. You don't have to imitate people. They'll find ways to personalize the material. But do think about who the speaker is and the purpose of the speech. And don't write in a way that obviously doesn't fit the person's style and situation. Also, it's helpful to include pronunciation-informed action for unfamiliar words and names, especially if the presenter isn't a native English speaker. If you include notes, be sure to put your notes on a different page or in a different font color so your speaker doesn't accidentally work them into the presentation. You may also want to use italics or underlining to highlight important words or points so the speaker knows what to emphasize. If the script will be polished somewhere, to remember to take out all those notes you included to help the speaker. Tip 8. Practice, polish, and perfect whether you decide to read your talk, recite it, or speak from an outline. Be sure to rehearse. Keeping this tip can have disastrous consequences, especially if you're being recorded. Tip 9. Stop worrying. In conclusion, writing a speech is different from writing for print or the web. You may need to set your audience's expectations, write in a way that sounds like natural speech, and then once you've written the speech, you need to know it so well that you sound like you're speaking to a friend instead of delivering prepared material. It's scary to put your words out there for people to hear or say, but you can do it if you care about your topic and speak with passion and authority. Others will care about it too. That's all. Thank you.